2025 has seen no shortage of notable fresh meat in the video game stratosphere, from the latest installments of big franchises like Death Stranding 2 and Assassin's Creed Shadows, to humble yet mighty surprises such as Split Fiction and Expedition 33, and of course some less exciting releases. Looking at you, Mind's Eye. But we're only just over halfway through the year, and with release cycles tending to ramp up towards the conclusion of the annum, there's still plenty to look forward to. I'm Foxtrot with Mobalytics, and here are 12 games you're going to want to have on your radar. It's been almost a decade since the release of one of the greatest platformers of the modern era, but Team Cherry's highly anticipated follow-up to Hollow Knight should finally be seeing the light of day this year. Silksong fans know exactly why I use the word should here, and I do apologize if I've jinxed it. Having said that, there will be a playable demo at Gamescom in August, which strongly suggests a release announcement and date may come soon. In Hollow Knight Silksong, you play as Hornet, the needle-wielding half-sister of the hero from the first game. Just like its predecessor, you'll be exploring beautiful hand-drawn worlds, mastering traversal tools like grappling, confronting countless enemies, and discovering deep NPC lore hidden throughout the map. As a Metroidvania, you can expect fast-paced combat, challenging bosses, and deep exploration into atmospheric environments. The original soundtrack composer for Hollow Knight, Christopher Larking, makes his return in this sequel as well. This has to be one of the most anticipated games, not just of 2025, but of all recent years. Hollow Knight Silksong is expected to release later this year, with Xbox Game Pass support from day one confirmed, and eventual releases on PC, Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, PlayStation, and Xbox. Following the trend of big franchises getting their next installments, the fifth mainline entry into the Borderlands looter-shooter franchise, Borderlands 4, is on the horizon. Yes, Borderlands 4 is the fifth game, I know. Developed by Gearbox and published by 2K, in Borderlands 4 you'll explore a brand new open world planet, Kairos, while continuing Vault Hunter chaos in first-person combat with billions of weapon permutations. The title promises over-the-top mayhem and fat loot, staying true to franchise roots while expanding with the new alien mysteries and features. Most intriguingly though, for me at least, Borderlands 4 is said to have the most in-depth skill tree the series has ever seen. If you know us here at Mobalytics, you know we're absolute suckers for a good skill tree and build, so keep your eyes peeled on our channels for the best Borderlands 4 coverage when it's out. Its release date is confirmed September the 12th, 2025 on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and with a Switch 2 version coming shortly after. Early access has been out for over a year at this point for Hades 2. Since then, it has received multiple major updates refining the combat, character relationships, and Guardian encounters. Fans have noticed potential final updates that may indicate that early access is winding down, which puts the game on this list. You play as Melinoy, the immortal princess of the underworld and sister to the protagonist of the first game. In her quest to defeat Kronos, the Titan of Time, her journey unfolds across both the underworld and surface realms. This split journey alongside the new magic system are the two features I am looking forward to the most in this one. The game's had some mixed reviews in early access, but you know, it's early access. It's not a complete game yet, so it's understandable. It also has massive shoes to fill, being that Hades is one of the greatest action roguelikes of all time. No official full launch date has been announced just yet, but Supergiant Games appears confident the release is nearing completion this year. It will most likely be available on the same platforms as its prequel, that is to say PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and even mobile. Set 300 years after the Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei is a samurai-themed action-adventure set in feudal Japan. The narrative follows a haunted mercenary named Atsu traversing rural northern Japan in 1603, driven by revenge for her slain family. It may sound cliche, but come on man, we're playing feudal Japan samurai game. Load me up with the cliches. The first game, Ghost of Tsushima, was one of my absolute favorites from 2020. The way rolling around in the mud actually made your equipment dirty was awesome, to speak nothing of the entertaining combat and story itself. This time around, Ghost of Yotei promises a less repetitive open world, strong environmental variety, and story-driven combat experiences. It looks like Sucker Punch, the developers of the series, are staying true to the strengths of the original while building upon it. The game will be coming out October the 2nd, exclusive to PlayStation. It's a return to the Mafia series' roots, with Mafia the Old Country, an origin story set in 1900s Sicily. You play as Enzo Favara, navigating a gritty mob underworld through immersive third-person storytelling. The game even features full Sicilian voice acting, which is pretty neat. The first Mafia game, released in 2002 on the PS2 and original Xbox, was a real dark horse during its time. It got a remake in 2020, which I highly recommend if you haven't played it yet, especially since the story of the new game, The Old Country, it's a prequel to the first title. I wasn't a massive fan of Mafia 3, I have to admit, so I remain slightly skeptical about this one, but I'd be lying to say if I wasn't looking forward to seeing how it comes out. Mafia The Old Country is launching very soon, August the 8th, available across PC, PS5, and Xbox. The sequel to many a fan's favourite off-brand Fallout game, The Outer Worlds 2, will be hitting shelves and your game library of choice very soon. To be fair, calling The Outer Worlds an off-brand Fallout game is doing it a little bit of an injustice. It was directed by Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky, who literally created Fallout, and it was developed by Obsidian, who made Fallout New Vegas. Taking inspiration from sci-fi heavy hitters Futurama, Firefly, and Deadwood, the first game's success was a very welcome surprise. The second game takes players to a massive colony called Arcadia, which is under the Protectorate's authoritarian rule. Gameplay improvements include enhanced gunplay inspired by Halo and Destiny, a revamped perks, floors, dialogue system, broader exploration and parkour movement, new weapon types, and dynamic first third-person shifting. I'm a massive fan of Obsidian anyway. I was one of the few people who thought Avowed was actually incredible. So yeah, this is definitely going on my wish list. Outer Worlds 2 is set for release on October 29th for PC, PS5 and Xbox, and it will be a day one on Xbox Game Pass. It's been over a decade since the last mainline Ninja Gaiden game, but rejoice, fans of intense, high-speed action. Team Ninja has cooked up a fresh serving of one of the most beloved and long-standing hack-and-slash games. In Ninja Gaiden 4, you once again take control of the legendary Ryu, who now faces a global crisis sparked by a shadowy cult tied to ancient dragon blood rituals. Doesn't really get more Ninja Gaiden than that, does it? And as you might expect from a Ninja Gaiden entry, the gameplay promises fast melee combat and punishing difficulties. You'll be able to use returning weapons like the Dragon Sword, Lunar Staff, and Kusarigama, but this time with a modern combat system featuring parries, executions, and aerial juggles. You'll also unlock powerful Ninpo spells, new traversal tools, and brutal stealth takedowns as you move through the open levels. There'll also be challenge modes designed for speedrunners and hardcore fans alike. Ninja Gaiden 4 will be released on October 21st for the PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC. PvPvE may sound like a mouthful, and the mixed success of the emerging extraction shooter genre has gamers rightfully concerned when a new one is announced. Escape from Tarkov may have big boots to fill, and Arc Raiders is a game that is looking to do just that. In Arc Raiders, you enlist as a raider to try to thrive in a desolate world, overrun by machines known as Arcs. Of course, as with any good game in this genre, the real danger comes from other players who will look to shoot you down and steal your loot. Each run in this game is 30 minutes long, during which you'll travel to the surface, grab whatever you can, then return to your base underground where you can sell, craft, and prepare for the next raid. The game looks to deliver more than just fun gunplay and looting though, with NPC traders to barter with and quests to undertake. Whether Arc Raiders can deliver on that though is another question. It's been a bit of a curse of the extraction shooter genre, very pretty on a surface level, but kinda shallow Time will tell how all of that will unfold. Arc Raiders will be releasing on October the 30th for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Now we're getting on to my personal favorite, most anticipated game for this year, Slay the Spire 2. I'm not a massive roguelike kind of guy. I'm not even a huge deck builder kind of guy. Games like Monster Train, Griftlands, Across the Obelisk, I could never get into them. But there's just something about Slay the Spire that made me sink an ungodly amount of hours into it. By all accounts, Slay the Spire 2 should be more of the same. You start at the bottom of the spire, choose your path to the top, acquire cards and relics, build a deck that will help you defeat the enemies and bosses on your way. The replayability of Slay the Spire being that there's no guarantee which cards or relics you'll be offered, so your decks will vary from run to run. A new cast of characters will be accompanying some of the existing members. There'll be new enemies, new cards, all that lovely stuff. A few new mechanics that I'm not too sure about, but we'll see when it's out for real. No solid release date just yet, but it's confirmed another early access is planned for PC later this year. The full release will no doubt populate the same platforms as its predecessor, including Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and mobile. Developed and published by Pearl Abyss, the creators of Black Desert Online, Crimson Desert is an ambitious, open-world action-adventure RPG. The game unfolds on the war-ravaged continent of Pyrewall, a medieval fantasy realm teetering on the brink of collapse after the king falls into a coma. Players embody one Cliff MacDuff, leader of the mercenary band known as the Greymanes, tasked with restoring order while confronting past traumas and ongoing betrayals. Aside from being thrown into the shoes of someone called Cliff MacDuff, the game ticks a lot of boxes, at least on the surface, so far. The combat is flashy, fast, pretty much what you'd expect from the makers of Black Desert Online. The environments are pretty, there's boss fights, character customization, even the campaign is said to be upwards of 80 hours long. Ambitious certainly is the word for it. These kind of games are sometimes too ambitious, right? Very wide, but also very shallow. We'll find out soon if that's the case with Crimson Desert. It's set to release late 2025, potentially November, across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. It's been over 20 years since the cult hit Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines dropped. Development of the sequel has been tumultuous, to say the least, with development eventually switching hands to the Chinese room in 2021, by far the company's biggest job to date. In Bloodlines 2, you embody Fire, a customizable elder vampire who awakes in modern-day Seattle during a historic snowstorm centuries after being dormant. You're a vampire of great power, but you're haunted. You must navigate a city on the brink of supernatural war amid warring factions. Bloodlines is an immersive vampire-themed RPG action game. In the sequel, you're going to get to choose from different clans that will affect how you play the game. One clan will focus on your melee strength, one on stealth, one on magic, one on your vampire skills. Loads of cool stuff there. You can even make hybrid builds by feeding on other vampires to truly customize your playthrough and incentivize multiple playthroughs. It all seems really cool, to be fair. I love a gritty vampire game ever since Blood Omen 2 on the PS2 back in the early 2000s. I'm just concerned that this game has been in development for so long, the expectations are so high. Will it really be able to reach them? We'll find out in October this year. PS5, Xbox, and PC. For our last game of the day, let's go a little bit outside the box with Dispatch, a Telltale-style superhero workplace comedy game. I say game, but the developers are intending Dispatch to play a little more like a TV show than just a game. It's being developed by Ad Hoc, and where it's their first foray into video game making, they have a lot of experienced ex-members. A lot of the old Telltale guys are in this team. The main thing that sets this game apart from previous Telltale style games, like The Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead, fantastic games, it's the animation style. Simply put, Dispatch looks gorgeous. Wrap it in a light-hearted, dysfunctional superhero theme, and you have what promises to be a true dark horse of 2025. The voice acting talent absolutely needs to be mentioned too. We've got TV stars Aaron Paul and Jeffrey Wright, voice acting legends Laura Bailey and Matt Mercer, hell even some YouTubers like Moist Critical and Jacksepticeye are in this game. There's a demo out already, and by all accounts the actual gameplay loop of being a management sim is pretty damn fun. The game will officially release later this year on PC and consoles. And that does it for the upcoming games that we're looking forward to this year. What do you think? What are you looking forward to yourself? There's plenty on the docket, some we may have missed as well. So let us know your thoughts down below. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.